Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic Thursday and a great week so far, despite what happened yesterday. And I know everybody's feeling a little bit more chipper today than they were perhaps yesterday. There's always this kind of panic when the market has these big or these kind of volatile moves to the downside. And we're going to talk about that in this video. You know, well done to those of you who bought the dip, who see this for what it is, who understand the fundamentals behind what you're investing in, and ultimately can invest with confidence based on that. I've got a very good friend of mine who rang me up and he goes, why do these dips always take place before payday, before the end of the month? Which I found rather amusing. I've been in crypto for that long that I now understand that if you want cryptocurrency to do something, it will do the opposite. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to try and keep this one short and sweet, guys. We've got lots going on. We've covered so much on this channel in regards to Cardano, in regards to its price, macro, micro, fundamentals, you name it, we've done it on this channel. And big up to everybody supporting this channel. It doesn't go unnoticed. I read every single comment, even though I may not have the time to reply to them all. What I want to do is I want to spend a little bit of time talking about exactly what happened yesterday, why we preach the mantra of buying dips in crypto, and the main reason for that, the main essence to why we preach that mantra is because we understand where this is going, where this technology, where the cryptos that have come out of this technology are going in terms of market cap and adoption. You are nowhere near there yet, so there's a huge kind of growth curve, adoption curve that we are really just embarking on at the moment, and that's why I'm so bullish on crypto. I'm a perma bull, and I believe that dips are there to be bought up. We've been right on a macro sense. We were telling you all the way down here. I watched The Big Short yesterday. Every single dip that we got here, we said, look guys, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and we were wrong, and all of a sudden very, very right. And for those of you who've watched The Big Short, which is where essentially it centers around Michael Burry and him shorting the housing market, or the indebted housing market, he was very, very wrong and all of a sudden exceptionally right. And this is how investing essentially works. You know, people want to ape into something when it's going through the moon, but it's better to be early and wrong for a bit than late and right, in my opinion. And that's what we are right now, I believe. Cardano is going to impulse. We are still going to see, in my opinion, that $7 to $10.50 or $7.50 to $10 Cardano price, potentially coinciding with the end of the year, perhaps a little bit into next year, but you are going to see it, ladies and gentlemen. This Elliott wave theory is absolutely still in play. We're going to talk about a lot today, guys, but I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. We know that Cardano signed a Burundi deal. This is an article explaining what it means. They're also back in Ethiopia, I believe, if I can find Charles's. Dropped by the MOE today to discuss digital transformation of Ethiopia's educational credentials. 5 million students on schedule. We already knew about this, but Charles is doing a bit of a kind of Pan-African tour. They tend to kind of stick to the east and north regions of Africa, or countries within Africa. But it's super interesting what's going on here, and these are really the perfect target audience for DeFi because they don't already have the financial systems. We've covered that. So yesterday, essentially what you had liquidations take place. This is what caused the sell-off. This ties in also very nicely. We didn't actually look at this yesterday. Amount of liquidations in the past 24 hours by exchanges. In total, $875.8 million were liquidated yesterday. This is what caused the sell-off. Many people ask me, why does the entire market sell off as a whole? It's very simple. It is very tied in with these liquidations. When you leverage your account, you'll have to use collateral. Often these accounts will have collaterals in altcoins, or their whole account will essentially be collateral. And when they get liquidated, everything gets kind of sold at a cut-off point. And this causes the entire market to drop, and this triggers other liquidations, etc., etc. This is why you shouldn't trade with leverage, guys. I spoke to somebody yesterday who essentially lost everything. He was one of these. He was one of the $875.8 million that got liquidated, and it really broke my heart because there's no need for it. There's really not. All these people acting like geniuses because they've made money off crypto really aren't. They were just early, including myself. Cryptocurrencies in many ways it's been hard to hold. I will say that it's not an easy ride in an emerging technology due to how volatile it is, but it has been very easy in the sense that I've literally had to buy hodl and I've made very good money off my investments, and that goes back to the whole why these dips are meant to be bought, because this is what you're looking at. You're looking at an emerging technology, an emerging market that's yet to even establish itself and really see that adoption kick in, and it's all coming, guys. And even on Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin looks fantastic. You know, when we talk, and what we spoke about yesterday was the fact that, and I'm jumping around a little bit here, but try and follow along, is that price is really an unfair representation of true value. Price, how we come up with a live price is essentially, it's one of the best metrics we have to weigh up those, you know, how to determine a price, a fair, if you will, price for something to be traded, is we use a very small amount of the overall supply, the liquid supply that's on exchanges getting traded back and forth, and this determines whether the price goes up and down and by what percent. This is an article that we had spoken about, and it says $93 million to move Bitcoin by 1%. This was wrote when Bitcoin had a market cap of 1.1 trillion. So 93 is nowhere near 1%. 93 million is nowhere near 1% of even 1 trillion. It's 0.001% ish, I think. So it takes a very small amount of the overall market cap. We spoke about it yesterday when we said, look, $1.1 trillion isn't in Bitcoin's market cap. You couldn't pull $1.1 trillion of money of value out of Bitcoin due to the way that price is determined. So it's all very interesting, and this ties in with what we're talking about with liquidations and why this causes the market to sell off in the manner that it does, and it really indicates that price is a lie, and that's why you want to really focus on fundamentals as an investor. As a trader, sure, you've got to do what you've got to do, and you've got to be on the ball with these things, but as an investor, fundamentals will win over technicals in many occasions. It's not 100% that way, you know, hype and all sorts of things go into that equation. But that's really what we're looking at, and dips really are for buying. You know, we can see that Cardano's recovered quite nicely. It needs to continue to do so. We need to certainly take this EMA, and we need to start setting up structure and taking this out first, because what we don't want to do is go into a situation where we start making lower lows and lower highs, and we start doing something like this, because then that would signal that you're down trending. We're not seeing signs of that yet. A couple of good things that we are seeing is just some of the wicks on these candles. You know, charts are funny because I spend so much time looking at them. You can kind of see the emotions in here. You can see that, you know, as this was kind of selling off, people panic sell, they sell. The buyers step in, and then this is why you get this wick to the upside, because people are willing to accumulate at these prices, and then on the way up, you get these huge wicks because people are kind of FOMOing back into their position, going, oh, we better get in before it, you know, starts to moon, and then this causes the price to go back up. But it's a rather weak rally in my opinion. I'd like to see a little bit more of a rally than we've currently seen, and like I say, we need to come up. This high here, for certain, we need to take in order for us not to sort of start downtrending, if you will, and failing to make these higher highs and starting to put in lower lows. So that's really what we need to see. I think it's coming. You know, we still stick by the predictions that we have for Cardano. We still think it's going to do fantastic. And I want to quickly show you, you know, these dips, these volatile moves to the downside are absolutely for buying. I mean, look at these. Can you see whenever you have these kind of huge long wicks, they will typically always come back up. You know, dips, these kind of volatile dips are always for buying. Certainly the ones with the kind of wicks that we're seeing. Can you see this? This is where you need to be courageous. This is where you need to be brave and kind of step up to the plate, because these typically are always fantastic, or certainly historically are always fantastic buying opportunities. And that's what yesterday was. I certainly picked up Cardano. I got in at $1.92. I didn't get filled on my lower order for some reason, so I'm a little bit peeved off with the exchange that I was using. But hey ho, I guess that's just how it is. I'm sure we'll have opportunities in the future. What are we doing here? Yeah, so what I'm really trying to highlight is the fact that when you get these kind of real volatile moves, that these are typically always fantastic buying opportunities. This historically has absolutely been true, in the same way that sideways movement for Cardano typically will lead to a break to the upside. Can you see all these little very volatile wicks? They were all just fantastic buying opportunities, guys. Can you see this? If you look at all these wicks, in the long run, certainly, you know, they're just great buying opportunities. But very few people take advantage of it, and the reason that they won't take advantage is because, you know, fear, uncertainty, manipulation, the media, Twitter, you name it. I mean, that was a fantastic buying opportunity. So that's really all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm really going to love and leave you on that note. It was just a short and sweet one. Well done for everybody that bought the dip yesterday. You know, we know that Cardano are doing amazing things, and ultimately fundamentals are going to play out in the long run. Regardless of the short-term price, which we've already discussed is rather an inaccurate representation of value. Take a look at the market cap today. Coin market cap's being funny for some reason. You know, we're seeing that the market's starting to recover. Shiba Inu is number 8. I don't know whether to laugh or cry at that. It's above Polkadot. It speaks volumes about the crypto space and how immature it is. Although Shiba, I know they have quite a bit more going on than Dogecoin does. I'm not against people making money off these coins. I think that's fantastic. But in regards to them being a cryptocurrency, they're very unimpressive. Extremely unimpressive. Certainly Dogecoin, which is just a copy of Bitcoin. They don't even have their own mining. They maybe have faster transactions, but in regards to your Polkadots, your Solanas, your Cardanos, your ETHEREUMs, you know, your chain, in regards to, there's so many projects underneath these coins that really deserve that share of market cap that's been taken up by a meme. That's really all I have for you in this video, guys. It was just a very short and sweet one. I hope what we said yesterday really sunk in. I didn't want to kind of waffle on too much, which I'm sure I've achieved. Or I'm sure I've done, but that is really the bulk of what I have for you. You know, things look great, and I mean, if you just look at how powerfully Bitcoin's kind of been bought up, it really says it all. And we're still on this roadmap that we believe is going to play out for Cardano. You've just got to hang in there. You look good on your daily RSI. You look okay on the stock RSI, and your MACD looks pretty good. And you're just kind of setting up. The weekly for these indicators doesn't look amazing. But this is crypto. We are in a bull market, and we're still anticipating that kind of blow off top towards the end of the year and going into next year for altcoins. That's really all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you've enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one, ladies and gents.